We're frauds.
It's France Olympics. He decides, I'll break my mate's house and go make a sandwich.
Like you're moving like you're fucking dancing. You look at this cha-cha-cha.
Hello and welcome back to another week of Uneducated Nuffies. I'm sick. My voice might cut out at any point this week. And also, big elephant in the room this week. There's a third person on camera.
Yeah. He's joined in front of the camera. We got him out of his little cuck chair corner, so he's now come and join us on the big kids table. Welcome, Jimmy.
Hello.
It's good to see you. That was not flown before.
It's good to see you in front of the camera. But yes, we're in the midst of changing the set design. This is only going to be for this week, and then we're going to make sure Jimmy is going to be in front of the camera for many future weeks. He's gone from his internship to his now unpaid commentating.
I've upgraded.
Yeah, we can only afford one unpaid person though, so...
Yeah, he hasn't returned back yet. He's going to get a full paycheck when he makes his next appearance.
No, he's not.
No,
he's not getting paid.
No, he is.
No, he is an internship.
We're going to pay him $1 million Zimbabwe dollars.
I'll pay him in Ecuadorian dollars.
I'll pay him Venezuelan dollars.
Lovely, but Jimmy and Jonty, we'll start with Jonty first. How's your week?
Well, so I was either working or sick, so I didn't do much. But one funny thing I found on the weekend, I was scrolling through Instagram Reels, and I find this one of an OnlyFans model, Annie Knight. Now, can you please elaborate who Annie Knight? I don't know who Annie Knight is. Can you please elaborate who that is? Catherine Stone. Anyway, she's an OnlyFans model, and this video that I found, by the way, is her advertising like a toy. Interesting. Anyway, I'm looking through, and I see at the bottom. Oh, that's a good way to start.
Apologies, please.
Anyway, so I'm gazing down on why she's on my page, and I look down and I see.
Does it show you know that
I told her about this. Anyway, so I'm looking down at the bottom, and I see followed by Tom Mitchell. Titch. What's going on, buddy?
He's got bored. And
he's going to do a collab on his TikTok with Annie Knight.
Is he going to get an opportunity shop together?
Yeah.
He's just got...
And Titch is going to provide her an opportunity.
Anyway, so I thought that was a funny little nitpick. I want to go through next week and see if I can find like OnlyFans models and see which AFL players follow OnlyFans models.
You do better than NRL players, I reckon.
NRL players get around
it.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Get around it. Jimmy, what did you get up to this weekend?
Oh, not a lot really. I had work, but then I had a long weekend. No work over Sunday. I went on Sunday.
Well, you don't normally work Saturday, Sundays anyway. That's weekends.
But Monday off.
Oh, yeah,
that's nice. Yeah, I had a party on Sunday night, which you were at.
We did.
Saw you there. That was fun.
We did.
But I've had a pretty quiet weekend.
Lovely.
What did you do, man?
But yeah, so you talking about this party. I ran the bar on Saturday night. I had a funny night. It was good. Some silly people. Obviously, the 21st, people get silly.
Yeah.
Some other silly interactions, but we better not go any further than that. But Sunday we went up to Ilden. I thought Mum and Dad wanted to go out the boat, so I thought I'd go out the boat with a couple of mates. It was very funny. We went to a place called Kevington, what is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
If you know where Kevington is, go towards Jamison. If you don't know what Jamo is, Jamison. It's on a river. Literally all there is, there's a pub, trees, and a river.
It's a classic Aussie town.
It's genuinely nothing there. So we decided to pitch up there.
Pitch a tent.
I did pitch a tent.
Oh,
as in, I put a tent up.
Oh.
Not a swag?
No, I didn't take a swag. The other two took a swag. But we're sitting in the river. We were drinking a lot of these. Drinking a lot of these.
They're not sponsoring us. Don't fucking show it.
No, because I love them enough. Anyway. But yeah, we're sitting in the river drinking beers. And then my mate goes, I need to poo. So we're having a look around, trying to think if there's any actual toilets nearby. Nothing. We're in the middle of nowhere. He's like, instead of digging, I think we might just go do it in the river. So my mate had previous experience of pooing in the river.
Good idea.
So there's a whole technique behind it.
Wait, there's a technique?
Yes. So I'm not going to because I don't want to have viewers to start pooing in rivers.
No. This is a good thing to encourage, I reckon. Cause a mass,
mass
poisoning.
I'm sitting in the river watching my mate encourage him and on how to do it step by step, and watching him do it and his facial expressions, and then I watch it float out and just slowly float down the river. And there's a campsite down the river with about 250 people. And I'm hoping they didn't see the submarine get down.
Cheers, you had a good weekend.
Mate, good highlight-filled weekend.
It was a lot of fun. Hey, also, cricket's going very well this week. We might win another game.
How'd you go?
I'd rather not talk about that. Let's move on.
Taylor Siddle's got a hat-trick on his birthday!
Not yet, he
Young
hasn't.
beauty!
Not.
Boland's got 6 at the G. Build the man a statue.
What are you doing here? Oh, just listening to some Spotify, mate. Yeah, just listening to some tunes.
Alright guys, boom or doom time because the Big Bash Finals here. Sydney Thunder versus Hobart Hurricanes down in Hobart. What do we think?
Ninja Stadium.
That's not. I'm gonna give it 3 big boos. Boom! Boom! Boom!
Look, it's going to be... I actually somewhat excited for... Obviously, the results will be out by the time this is released, but I'm excited for what we are calling tonight, obviously Monday night. Hurricanes are looking to win their maiden BBL title, whereas the Thunder are looking to win their first one since 2015-16. So it's finally out of those big two being the Perth Scorchers and Sydney Sixers looking to compete for the title. What I like. I like a bit of fresh change. It's looking good.
Yeah, should have been the Stars.
No, Maxi Ball did not take the nut ball.
Well, no, stupid spin decking. Like the edgy stadium. What is this?
Also,
I thought we're in India when we were playing at that deck.
Also catching and
You
hitting
can't
balls.
field.
Stars are on
Can't
it,
field.
Can't hit, can't ball and can't throw.
Openers can't support Maxwell.
Oh, Sam Harper.
Tom Rogers, 50 runs for the whole season.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, also, how good am I calling Hanscom getting back in the team?
I thought because when I thought he, well, first of all, how's the Thunder in that game not appealing when he snicked it straight to Billings? He absolutely smoked it. I'm sitting on the TV thinking he's nicked that that's a very loud nick.
It made a noise, and then it was the
Like,
sneaker
how do
was
you not hear
huge.
that? It wasn't like it wasn't a sold out NG Stadium. No one goes to NG Stadium.
It's true.
So
It
it
was
wasn't.
more fans in the Giants game.
Yeah, but that's not hard.
Yeah, that's not hard.
Anyway, now that we got the Hurricanes and the Thunder, who do we think's gonna win?
Ooh. I think as much as the Thunder have been rolling on really well and playing good cricket, I think the Hurricanes as a team are a lot stronger than the Thunder. I think the Thunder lack a little bit batting wise. They got obviously David Warner and Billings, but I think they lack it anywhere between that 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yep.
Whereas I think if you look at the likes of the Hurricanes, their number 6 is Tim David,
Yeah, which
who's probably one of the best bats.
Australian international.
Yeah. And I think bowling wise, they have great depth. The Thunder as an all round unit are awesome. And imagine like if they had like a Jofra Archer still in there.
if he wasn't playing international.
Not even playing international, just injured constantly.
Yeah, because he plays international and gets injured after one game. Yeah, Hurricanes gonna win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Hurricanes are just too settled.
Who's going to receive the best on though?
Mitch Owen.
He's had a very good.
Big of a top order. I think he goes hard. He'll score quick runs. I'm backing him in for a big one.
I back if a bowler goes well. Like Nathan Ellis has been bowling well in the finals and bat well in that final game against the Stars in the season. But I'd probably go. I'd probably say maybe David. I reckon there'll be some top order collapse a little bit, and then you'll have Owen and David probably step in.
I'm going Tim David as well because obviously he's gonna bowl as well. He's bowled for most of the season for the Hurricanes with his offie. Is offie or leg he bowls?
Neither.
Look,
It's just slow medium.
It's just something.
It's no spin.
But I think he'll probably knock 1 or 2 maybe. He might get 1 or 2 wickets late in the game. And then he'll make a good 40-50 and those 2 wickets will obviously help bolster his thing. I think he's probably deserving. But I think Mitch Owen isn't deserving play. He's probably been
good all time.
probably the player of the tournament almost.
Yeah, he's been very
behind
good.
Maxwell. But like he's been outstanding.
Got on the cane train.
Yes.
Now test
Bev will be happy.
Oh, it's Bevo versus what's his name? Gillespie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god. No.
Get
Were we excited?
get them on live together.
Oh my god. Now the test starts on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Galley. The first one was Sri Lanka.
What do you call it?
Goal.
Goal. Galley. Goal.
There we go.
Goal.
Cool.
Damn. They should spell it better. Anyway, so it's the first test there. Let's start off. What do we reckon we're going to go? Spin or pace attack?
I think two fast bowlers, 2 spinners, with the option of Webster bowling whatever he wants to bowl.
I feel like they had an all-rounder spinner would work perfectly, but they don't.
They can.
Oh, they can.
Webster
Big
can.
Bow bowl spin.
Which is funny in itself because he's 200
I want Bo to
centimeters.
bowl like 3 balls in 1 over of just pace, and then go to 3 spin the next one. Go switch them in between.
Yeah, 1 ball spin, next one.
But you can
180.
obviously. There's Connolly is the person they can go with. Is that probably an all-round spinner?
Yeah.
I just worry if they do go a second spinner, if a collapse does occur, it puts more pressure. Because I feel like if you have a spinner who can also be a really good batsman, that's an advantage in itself. That's why I want to see Connolly play, because he's a spinner, gives you that second option to bowl with Lyon, as well as you can bat him at 5, well not 5, probably like you bat him at maybe 6,
He'd be
Probably
5 or
you-
6.
5 or 6. Because head's probably 5.
Yeah, he will be.
So
Well,
you-
he might open.
You bat him at 6, or you can even bat him at like 3 and move Labuschagne down because he can't make a run. But get him in the team so you almost gain extra batsmen.
Yeah.
Especially in the subcontinent, it is always better experience to bring in a spinner who can bat, because it gives you an advantage as it is already.
Yeah, it's a good point. My only thing is he's still very young. He wouldn't have played much cricket over there. Very trying conditions. It'd be good to try him.
But I don't think there's nothing to lose out of this series, in my opinion,
no.
because they've made the Test Championship in England. So if they go over there, this is a series where they can try things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even though they want to win the series, there's nothing wrong with trying to play something and try something different, especially considering the aging lineup we have. Trying to bring some young depth into the squad. As much as it's good to have some experience, even Tom Murphy's still very young, but getting some more experience, so when we get there, we have a lot more versatility to pick from than just try and rely and hope that we can just get players coming in and feeding through really young.
Well, it's almost like maybe don't put him in first test, but if we're struggling with batting in the second test, give Gary a break. Let him have a break.
Well, do you almost give Nathan Lyon a break and play Murphy and Connolly?
That I would say that'll be the second test. I think he will play 1 test.
But
minimum.
he hasn't had a break in a while, and he probably might want a break just before the World Test Championship. Be nice and fresh.
I just think that he will want to have a chance to bowl in Sri Lanka just to keep himself fit at least.
Yeah, he'll play.
And then he'll probably take the second test off.
If anything, they'll play Murphy and Kuhneman.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Kuhneman deserves.
They'll take out a pace. That's the difference.
Yeah. You can even go 1 fast ball, 3 spinners. They've done that before. But
No, I don't think they will, to start with at least.
they won't start with it. It'll be
dangerous.
Stark and Bowling.
Stark and Bowen, yeah.
They'll
It's
play
not the
first.
Australian way.
Have one big pacer and one just
Yeah,
guy
come on.
consistent. But yeah, so that starts on Wednesday afternoon. How good's the time slot actually?
We can watch it as well.
3 p.m. time slot.
Oh.
Lunch is going to happen when we're having dinner. Oh, perfect. This is what cricket needs to be more
It's
like.
on Channel
It's like
7
a date.
as well.
It's a well,
No, it
Well,
won't.
people who
It's
can't
on
afford
Sunday.
KO.
Well, that's not. I'm not saying I have KO.
We all have KO in
But-
this room.
I don't know. I got Foxtel.
Oh, wow.
But in general, it's good to have overseas cricket on.
It's the first
TV.
time in years it's happened.
Apart from the Ashes, yeah, because the Ashes always.
The Ashes always get it, yeah. But it's a great time because, like, what? You get 3 o'clock, yeah. Lunch, dinner time for Australians would be, or for at least Melbourne time, is going to be around lunch for the test over there. And you get to watch it throughout the night. Watching
You
night
watch it
cricket,
at
you
about-
sit down, you have a beer, and you're thinking, oh, this is great.
You watch it till about 10 p.m. It'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Game, set, match. We're here at the end of the Australian Open. It's been a good Australian Open tournament, at least to watch.
Yeah.
But there's been some interesting stuff besides that. But look, we've got a new champion who's been crowned in the women's singles tournament. Madison Keys won her first Grand Slam in a 3-set victory over Arena Sabalenka. And what a match it was.
It was a really good match. Sabalenka was probably her worst, or her own downfall. She kept on just hitting it out and hitting it into the net every single time, and it was completely her own fault with it. Madison Keys deserved the match. She was playing really composed, really well.
I think the reason why Sabalenka lost is because she didn't do a TikTok the night before.
I think Madison Keys deserved it though.
Oh,
Beating the number 2 and the number 1 seed back-to-back games.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
It's good.
And also, Sabalenka was probably more pressure of being the first woman to win 3 back-to-back.
Yeah, we saw it since like the 80s, I think. But I think Keys didn't have an easy run. Obviously, being the 19th seed, she got through some big. She had to beat Danielle Collins. She had to beat obviously Swiatek. She beat what's her name? The wife of Monfils. What's her name? The Ukrainian. I've gone blank. Sorry, viewers.
I don't
We
know.
will be able to find it at some point, but she beat her. They obviously beat Swiatek, yeah. Beat Swiatek, and then obviously Sabalenka in the final. I think her composure was phenomenal. You gonna tell us what it is? Svitolina. Peter will be disappointed with me. But yeah, it was a great thing. I think that was the match of the women's tournament as well.
To be honest, the first two sets, like both sides, they weren't very good. The first set was Madison Keys dominating. The second set was Sabalenka dominating. I think the third set it became an absolute good game.
But considering you've seen Sabalenka dominate the last two Australian Opens, obviously winning. I think she won straight sets last year and then the year before. I can't remember exactly if she won it in straight sets or in 3 games. But look, she looked really good. Sabalenka had a great tournament besides the last one. I think that was her one game she sort of had a slip up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Keys, well deserving. It's good to see that. And then hopefully she can continue to win some more Grand Slams.
It's the first one of her career after featuring in a final for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah, 2017 was the last time she was in a final.
Damn.
Yeah, wow.
That's a long time.
7 years.
Well done.
Let's go to men's side. Oh, wait.
Oh, hang on, I got it.
It's so boring. Yannick Sinner goes back to back in the Australian Open. Yannick Sinner's whole run may be the easiest Australian Open run
Yeah.
in a long time.
He dropped 2 sets.
Yeah, and the only time he didn't even drop a set in the game. He looked the most matched. So
We just want to test him again because he has been caught twice.
yeah, but what happens then?
Another 6-month ban for doing illicit substances.
If he was ranked anywhere else, he'd get a massive ban.
Oh yeah,
He's number 1 in the world, so he gets away with it.
yeah.
But look, I think the men's side of the draw was obviously... I thought the women's side of the draw was actually more interesting to watch than the men's. I think the men's lacked this year. There wasn't really any sort of...
Well, the
excitement?
final four was Djokovic and Zverev, which ended in a set because
Do you reckon if Djokovic hadn't been injured and beaten Zverev, that would have made the final better?
Yes.
yes,
Djokovic
Novak
actually
would've
can
won.
fight.
the Oz Open specialist. Yeah,
Yes, he's won 10 Australian Opens for a reason.
Yeah. I think the tweet that he had is the funniest thing.
Oh, of the hamstring.
Posting a picture of hamstring, thinking everyone's gonna understand.
No
how
one
to
knew
read an MRI.
any bit of it.
Novak, I'm not a surgeon, mate. I know what I'm looking at.
It was so stupid.
Do we think that Zverev is a deserving second in the world?
No, he's never won one.
Well, that's the
No, but he's ranked second in the world. Is he? If you were to put him up against Djokovic, who was ranked 7th, who I don't think he deserves to be ranked there, you got Alcaraz is ranked 3rd.
and he got thumped.
I genuinely think there's at least 4 or 5 players who are better than Zverev, but he's still ranked so
It's
high.
because he makes it far in tournaments. He wins tournaments outside of Grand Slams. He does enough outside of Grand Slams, and this Grand Slam he was the second best player. It's just that Djokovic.
Oh,
If and I'm saying that if Djokovic,
I don't think Djokovic was second best player. I thought it was Alcaraz.
Djokovic beat him in 3 sets.
Yeah, because the injury obviously changed the play, but I thought he was actually what he flew through the tournament
He did
until he got to Djokovic.
And then I don't care if Alcaraz was injured. Djokovic was also.
I think if you put Alcaraz on the center side of the bracket, he would have got through the final.
Nah, Sinner would still made it.
Sinner was the best one, mine.
I think Alcaraz has the one up on.
No, Sinner right now.
Sinner's a robot.
He's our version.
Just
The
boring
tennis version
tennis.
of Haaland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
boring.
just you watch him play. He just wins, gets the ball back every time without fail. He rarely makes a mistake.
I think Zverev is the second best player in the world, but in a Grand Slam he can't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't have that almost mindset mentality to get through it.
He's still on that hurdle. It's like Medvedev,
Tsitsipas.
It doesn't matter. He's out anyway.
Went out first round.
Out a long time ago.
But look, we're now got to wait 4, 5. And the
It's
next
a
one's
while till
obviously
French
Wimbledon.
Open.
It's a big gap in between.
Yeah.
Because it feels like the other 3 Grand Slams
in like 3
are
months.
nice and close to each other. Obviously, because weather conditions play a big factor. But I feel like they need another one in there somewhere just to break it up.
Where'd
Bring
it
it.
go?
Go Saudi Arabia money. The winner wins $1 billion.
Well, theoretically, you need to do it in a big tennis nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of
Go China. No, China's not.
No, they haven't been good for
would
a
never
while
happen.
now.
That would never
Plus,
happen.
you have all Americans be like, no.
That would never happen.
It would have to be like, I'm trying to think.
That's me. Southern Hemisphere.
Spain? No.
But that's still on the. You gotta wait
Spain's too
until-
close to the French Open. They play on clay.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have
Yeah, but that's
The-
kind of. Oh yeah,
the
true.
US is exactly like ours, except just different part of the world.
Yeah.
Like it's more Spain naturally is one of the biggest tennis countries. They've had Nadal,
Yeah, Alcaraz now.
Alcaraz now. They're gonna have generation. Like they have to keep on having this
Ferreira.
one generational. I
Ferreira.
was gonna say, don't say Federer.
No, not Federer. Federer is Swiss.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, the Swiss banks won't be able to fund it. So.
No, he's advertisement with who's he sponsored by?
What?
Rolex? No,
No, Hublot. No, not Hublot. What's the other one?
that's one of them.
Absolutely, the Crows were right. In front of me.
We're going to engage with our mind.
Do you think they didn't come to play? Do you think they sat in their cars waiting for the game to start and go out there?
We've had marks. We've had everything. Which one's the best mark, guys?
in the preseason,
Yeah.
Sam Durham.
Goldbridge.
Anyway, we're starting to cover AFL again this year. It's final
Woohoo.
time. We spent most of the year talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be sick of us by the end of it.
Like you are.
Yeah, like this. Anyway, we're going to start off the season preview by going through 6 teams each week for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll be going from the ladder last year, from bottom to top.
Yeah.
Thought I'd clarify that first because you don't want to have like someone like, where's Port Adelaide this week?
Oh God.
Poor
At
fans.
Ken's. Oh, can't say that.
Anyway, let's start with Richmond.
Oh,
So they finished last year,
yeah.
and they've had a lot of players make the jump to another team or retire.
How many of those lost? 8 in total.
Lots.
And
I
then
think it was 8 key players.
key players, yeah, they've
Yeah.
lost more than that.
And
in
they've
general.
decided bottom out, scratch, go back to square one, rebuild.
It's smart because you look at
It is
the.
the time.
You look at the. There's massive talk into the draft period. You get in before Tassie comes in because that's when the draft is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
Obviously bolstered towards Tasmania, so they get the big picks in. It's a smart move. They got some good picks, got sort of the things that they needed,
Yep.
and it looks very good. But obviously, going to be a long rebuild for them.
Long time.
Probably going to be like 2030 when they'll start being good.
I hope we start getting more Nuffies back, like Mario from Doncaster.
I think this will be different though. I think surely most Richmond fans know that they are in square one.
Oh,
They're not
they'd
that
have to
bad.
know because they've had the success of the Free in 4 years. They tried their best to try and relive it. They didn't.
Yeah.
And they've instantly bottomed out, and now they know they have to.
I'm ready for the 40,000 members who only signed up when they started being good, going back into hiding.
Yeah,
Oh,
So they go back to 60,000
They're
members and
on
they'll
hold.
skyrocket.
they're already gone.
They've got a hold on.
Yeah, the bandwagons. It's like Lygon Street. Anyway,
So, gee, no. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. We're also gonna put up on screen right now a best 22 that we think Richmond will put out. We'll do one for each team, and we'll put it on your screen for you right here. But this is the team we think they're gonna line up with. Obviously, we think they're gonna play a lot of the youngsters. What I think is the smart decision.
Yeah.
Get as much game time into them now, even though they're losing. Just get them game time. That's all they need because you get them more game time. It's more experience, and they're gonna grow. They're gonna you look at it. They're all gonna come up together for the next 14 years as long as they don't leave.
Yeah.
well, imagine midfield once you have Smiley, Layla, and Houghton all playing like proper midfield minutes. With Taranto, who will still be like when they're in their primes, will still be in the list as an experienced head.
If he doesn't leave.
If he doesn't leave, which by the sounds of it's going to be him
Yeah.
leaving. But their list is really young. Directive this year is play to youngsters. It's time to rebuild.
Yep.
So it's going to be Layla, Smiley playing those midfield minutes, Houghton getting in there. Trainer probably playing some back minutes because we've Noel Bolter missing some time this year.
Oh,
Yeah. So players to watch.
Yeah. We've all got a player to watch. I've put down Sam Layla, number 1 pick. He's their Dusty Martin prototype.
Yeah.
They're going to put all the hype around him. I'm surprised they didn't give him the number 4 actually.
I thought I'd give him number 7.
who'd they give the number 4 to?
Someone. They did not give it to anyone. Did Jacob Hopper go to number 4?
Probably.
Someone,
Oh, no,
yeah.
he's 2, no.
He's not, I've forgot.
We'll,
Anyway,
we'll figure it out later.
I've got Layla, number 1 pick. I think I'm not sure when the rising star, but I think he will be. He's a big. He looks like he's going to be a big impact player.
He will be growing pains with no real experienced talent around him.
Yeah, But he's
Stone?
my one to watch.
Yep. My one to watch is, you've already mentioned him before, Josh Smiley. I think he's got that build like a Patrick Cripps or Marcus Bontempelli.
Yep.
Big body. He's 193 centimetres, I believe. He's in the 190 centimetres. So tall body. He's not as fast, so I think they're going to give him a lot of midfield minutes or play him as maybe a second, third tall option down forward or back, wherever they need him to move. I think, but I look at him, the way he can find the ball, gets the ball, and distributes the ball is one of the best probably they had in the draft this year. Obviously, his stock fell down because of the Mars Championship, the state championship. But I think he's an amazing talent that they're going to... I think they're going to build around him. And I've actually got him thinking he's going to win the Rising Star this year.
Not bad.
Sorry for dying mid.
I noticed.
My choice for this one is Gibcus. Now, he's missed the last 2 years with bad injuries at the start of the year.
Yeah, bad luck.
It's been pretty unlucky, yeah. Last one was more because of contact with how it happened. So I don't believe it's going to be a recurring issue each year. And when he was playing, in his first few years, he was very, very good. Look, he is probably going to be one of the best centre-half backs in the comp.
The ball's going to be down there a lot.
He's going to have a lot of touches. He's going to be having a lot of marks.
Yeah.
And I see him really developing this year into the Richmond key back. Definitely a Grimes replacement.
Yeah.
And we're also going to have a look at one last thing. We're going to look at the ceiling and floor that we think that Richmond can achieve this year. What do we confirm together that we think is going to be their ceiling and floor?
Well, they're going to finish bottom four. I think that's just realistic. They're not going to finish any higher. They're not even trying to win. They're probably the one team who's not trying to get extra wins from last year's unsuccessful season. So, like 15th if everything goes really well, but I think realistically 18th is where they're going to finish.
Yeah, there's no real chance. Like Tom Lynch might want to push for his final few years, but no, they won't.
Who's on the most money in the league?
Yeah, they have to pay someone.
Can't pay the rookies.
Not yet. Wait till next year.
$4 million. Here you go.
All right.
Team.
So Pat's favourite team, North Melbourne. Look, they're directed this year. It's time to compete. Clarko's had enough time now to build his squad. It's time to start competing.
Yeah. I think another big thing they need to do is get LDU's signature on a new contract. So he doesn't, because if they have another bad year, you wouldn't be surprised if he went to look elsewhere.
Oh, if honestly, the St Kilda links are the best ones.
Yeah.
Because
Saints will go hard for him.
Yeah, the war chest, or the supposed war chest.
I think they have the same war chest.
I think everyone's got the same war chest. I think they're just hyping it up. But I think North have a lot of great talent on the list. Like you look at the talent of the Sheasel, you got Wardlaw, Charlie Comben. The list goes on and on. They got some great talent through there. I think Nick Larkey, yes. They got some great young talent coming through, and they're starting to really hit their strides. And I think they got a lot to sort of contribute to. And I think the more experience they've got the last 3 or 4 years is really impacting. I'm interested to see where they play Charlie Comben, if they're going to put him on the back line or forward line. I think they could really determine how they're going to go this year.
I believe the confirmation is he'll play key back.
I think that's where, if they want to actually win more games, that's where he needs to play.
Yeah, they also drafted Whitlock.
Yeah,
who's a forward.
He can play back, but his brother's more a back than he is. So,
yeah.
Look, the whole thing around this is getting the older players to help them push towards becoming a team to compete.
Yeah.
Parker will be playing midfield minutes, and he'll be a great addition alongside Sheasel to help him grow. Darling up front to relieve the pressure of Larky. Not going to score goals, as we saw from last year. He was getting 20 disposals for like 3 weeks straight last year, which was real weird. And then Caleb Daniel to play the wing or halfback, depending on where North want to put him. Probably McGuire's playing off halfback, but it's time for them to get up and going.
Speaking about Caleb Daniel, he is my guy I'm putting on one to watch and to improve this year for North. I think he had a year or two where he was like All-Australian for Doggies. Fell off the last couple of years, didn't really fit Bevo's style. But I think coming in, he's going to get a lot of run off halfback if they're going to play, where they should really play him off halfback. That's where he's best suited, I think. But I think he's an exceptional talent, and coming into a team where he can be that experienced head for the young ones, like your Sheasels, your Wardlaw off that halfback, he will be really exceptional to see and move it into their forward line with their taller targets now.
Yep. I've gone Zane Dersma as one to watch. Was drafted last year, first year last year. Didn't have a great season. He was down forward, so tough times up forward at North. But he's really explosive. really athletic. So that one mark he took in that game, Mark of the Year nomination. He's smooth moving. I think he's gonna take some leaps and bounds this year.
He'll be a future star, no matter what. He'll be.
I promise.
No. I've got Wardlaw making the jump to become a elite midfielder. They've got Shears already in there playing midfield minutes. As much as people want to say he's going to be playing halfback, no, he's playing midfield. Him, LDU, Wardlaw, and Parker playing midfield minutes. I think Wardlaw will become that centre. LDU will be looking away from the for a contract. So Wardlaw will be getting that ball. He's such a good football, just foot user, able to find, and then he's able to get in there and be a big body. He's starting to become that player that they need.
You probably want him on the inside as well. He's getting the balls to the users like Shears and LDU.
It does let Shears play wing if they want to do that way as well.
Yeah.
And probably looking at the likes of North, what we're expecting them. Look, I reckon we can see him as high as about 11th or 10th. I think they can if they get on a roll, get some wins, they've got to start well. That's really going to be the key. If they can start well in the season, get some wins early, then they can use that momentum to get throughout the season. But again, it's North Melbourne. We don't know what to expect from them. We could see them as low as 18th.
Yeah. They have to win more than 3 games this year.
Yeah, they have
You've got to be getting at least 6 wins, I reckon.
Clarko cannot survive a season where they don't go and progress.
Yeah.
Now, talk about progression. A team that probably want to also see some progression is West Coast. Now, they finished 16th last year.
Yeah.
The directive this year is to keep Harley happy. Win some games. Get him some co-stars. And they did that over the off-season. They did a fairly good job. They did make some mistakes in giving up.
Pick 3, thank you very much.
But getting in a small forward who can complement their growing list. Getting in Baker was a massive win. Graham, yeah. They've got some great players to come in and help out.
I wouldn't call always a great player.
But he'll
To
do
help
a
out.
Help
To help out.
He did kick 30 goals. Like, he's not bad.
And
He
he's
talks
also
shit about Carlton. I don't like him.
But yeah, they're basically that's all they need to do. Harley's gonna be playing midfield. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really, where does Baker play? Does he play as a wingman? Does he go back to the half-back flank, or does he go back to the half forward flank where he's been
going through some half-back and then through the midfield a bit as well.
Yeah, it's
So there's a big body in
Yeah,
there.
I think with West Coast, their midfield looks good on paper. I like the talent they got in there. Forward line, I think, was probably their strongest bit last year. Waterman had an All-Australian year, and then Oscar Allen being that sort of almost moved from that first option to second option in the forward line.
well, he was injured for half the year, so
That's a good 1-2 punch.
But that's a good 1-2 partnership they have going forward. I think their backline has a bit of things they can fix on. Obviously, they've still got McGovern there, who's proven age is just a number.
Yeah.
But I think they got a lot of promise. I think they can go a long way
They
here.
do need to find a Barash replacement.
Yeah, because
That's a big
Bazo is not going to be that. As much as they've tried to fit him in there, so they need to find someone.
Yeah.
Look, let's say start off. What are the players that they brought in over off season in the draft? Bo Allen looks like a star, and he's my player to watch. He'll be playing midfield minutes straight out of the gates.
Yep.
They will want to get him in there with Reed because that's a 1-2 punch. That will be lethal in a few years.
I've gone with someone who could also be that player, Elijah Hewitt. He played 2 years ago when the West Coast were completely bottomed out, were bottom of the ladder, and he was one of the only good things that came out of them for that year. Got injured last year, didn't play a lot, but he's smooth moving, silky player. I think get him on the field, he'd be a good one to watch.
Yeah, as well, I'm going to go with someone who has had a little bit of inexperience the last couple of years. Ruben Jimby, he's sort of been in and out of the squad for a couple of last 2-3 years. I think he's an exceptional talent who looks really good. They're going to try and push him off that half-back flank, be a bit of a runner. So he's going to get a lot of the ball, hopefully, because I think they're going to get under pressure, as you'd expect for a bottom-out team to be. But he'll get a lot of ball, and hopefully his ball contribution forward can be positive. And I think he's my player to watch.
As far as ceiling and floor goes, I don't really see West Coast jumping too high. Probably as high as 13th is what I can see him going if everything goes right. Again, they could also get the wooden spoon.
If Richmond are not to get one.
It's really those top 3 teams we can see either go from those bottom 3 teams, go from anywhere as high as what we saw North with 10th, but then they can all be competing for that wooden spoon.
I think West Coast will improve. I just don't see him improving as much as North could. So that's
yeah.
why I'm not going to have him as high as North.
Yeah.
Moving on now to a team that could do a bit better, the Crom.
Oh, last year was a shambles.
Yeah, because after a great 2023, where they should have made finals, got cheated out of it by that goal umpire, they had a shocker last year.
I think, they just couldn't find sort of any momentum. I think injuries played a bit of a factor.
Rankin suspension.
And then missing out the last 3 games due to concussion. I think there was a lot of contributing factors, but I think in the end, it was a disappointing season for them. I think they expected to be competing for finals. To see them finish 15th was a bit embarrassing, to say the least, for Adelaide.
Look, it's Knicks or bust.
Yeah.
This year, if it doesn't happen, Knicks is gone.
He's had enough time now.
And Adelaide, at this point, their list may look young-ish, but the development they've had over the last few years isn't anything substantial. They need to be seeing the players either hit their peak now, or it's going to be a long time before they come back to drinks.
Also, they've also added depth to that list, adding Neil Bullen, Peatling, and Cumming over the off-season. That's just
A bit more experience, at least, with
experienced
Neil
players who can come in, play straight away, and help stabilise that team. So you're right about Nick, though. He's been there 5, 6 years now.
He's been given the benefit of the doubt last year because he did the year before. Once again, get the benefit of the doubt because they should have made finals.
Yeah.
But it was probably unlucky for them not make finals. The year before, didn't have a great year. The year before that, had a good year. So this is time to show that form beforehand.
Yep.
They're always a team you sort of you don't know what to expect from them at times. They can be either really good, what we saw in a couple of games this year, or really shit. But you look at some of the players they've got, at least my look at it, Ben Keys is probably my player to watch. I think you saw in spurts this year, he looked phenomenal. But he has that inconsistency where he hasn't been able to add that to his game. But I feel like this is the year where he's going to get it all together, be their main half forward option. And I think he's going to complement Rankin really well. I think as long as he can get the ball, be that little crummer he is, and watch him I think he's going to flourish this year.
Talking about forwards, the beast, Riley
Thilp.
on whatever he's on. If he plays a full year, he kicks 45 plus.
Yeah.
He's the main guy at forward now with Fogarty, the two big tools I got up there.
Tex is still there.
Don't forget Tex.
But he'll phase out. It's his last year. I think Phil Thorpe becomes the guy.
He'll be the one.
Yeah, he's shown flashes over his career. It was like pick 2, I think. So high draft pick. He's shown flashes.
Yeah, okay.
He was a pretty high pick. Yeah.
Shown flashes. Last year when he came back for those last 6 games, looked great. I think he gets a whole year and he kicks a lot of goals.
Yeah. I've got one of the new recruits incoming. He played a lot more defensively last year for the Giants when he did play, and that's not his strength. His strength is to play off the halfback flank. So getting him to be able to have that role alongside probably Hinge, you're looking at a pretty fast back duo, but he can also float back when necessary. He'll make a jump from where he was at the Giants, where he was probably that 4th, 5th best defender.
Yep.
Looking at their ceiling, I think Adelaide could have another interesting year like they did last year. I think they can be really a threat in finals. I can see them finishing anywhere between 6th to 8th, being their top sort of peak. But again, it is Adelaide. We know what they've done in the past. It isn't a one-off. It's happened before. I think you could see them even as low as 15th or 16th.
Yeah, I agree with that. Time for another preseason camp.
Oh, no. No.
That worked last time, didn't it? And you talk... Go.
No,
I'll let you go.
No, go.
I'll let you go.
No, finish.
I was going to say, talking about dramas like a camp we had there, we're going to move to another team who, boy oh boy, they had a lot of dramas last year, and that is the Melbourne Football Club.
Okay, we hit the same notes.
What?
That's what I was going to say.
They've had dramas for 2 years.
Look, I think Melbourne's one thing is to just stop having issues off field. I think it's pretty obvious. They had Clayton Oliver, they had Joel Smith, Petrarca was probably the biggest issue they
Stephen
had.
May having a fight in Chapel Street.
Melksham and May having a fight.
Yeah, it's been going on for literally since they won the flag.
Yeah.
So if you have an issue for a year, I mean, Collingwood never have them, you're alright, but
Yeah.
Melbourne need to stop that. I think the whole prerogative of Melbourne's year is obviously to win more games and push for finals, but make your 2 guys in that midfield happy and content and want to stay and play for Melbourne Footy Club.
Even not even just that, just get them back to the way they were playing football, because it looks like they're not looking the same out there. Especially Oliver. Oliver looked like a different. He looked a shadow of himself exactly.
And Petrarca so far, since his injury, his car crash to his ribs, he's had another rib injury.
No, that's right. I did say that.
So it's not been great for him.
He's not going to be that big body that he can be anymore because of what's happened. Like, considering he came out in the interview and said he almost died, I think he's going to be a lot more careful with how he plays football now too.
It's going to be like when Gary Ablett had that massive injury, where he didn't go into tackles anymore. He's obviously not the same level as Ablett, but the same kind of issue where he doesn't want to dive into tackles. That's what you want to kind of avoid, and that won't happen. Look, their big issue last year was their forward line. It's always been
there
their,
for years.
it's was massively abhorrent last year, and someone who did end up becoming a player for him in the forward line was Daniel Turner. Kind of out of nowhere, just kind of sucking 3 goals a game at some stage, and I have him making the jump to becoming when he gets that full-time forward with Van Rooyen leading up front. Turner, who cannot move, will be in that forward 50 at all times. I think he'll have a massive jump in goals this year.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go as player to one to watch and make a big jump for Melbourne. Had a good first year last year, but Caleb Windsor on the wing, it's a very pacey player. Good skills. I think having that midfield around him allows him to be good out in the wing, run free. If they can get the ball out to him, let him use it.
It's probably more his efficiency you need to see jump up.
Yeah. I'm going to go someone a bit older, but I think we've seen what he's done before. Clayton Oliver, obviously 3-4 years ago, he was a Brownlow medal favourite and massive chance to win it. Sort of after the incidents we've seen happen with him, sort of dwindled down, been a bit of a shadow of himself, like you said, James. But I think he's going to really lift up. Looking at pre-season, some of the footage already, he's looked like he's back to his own self. It's just that confidence. He lost his confidence a bit, dropped down, but as soon as he gets his confidence back, I feel like he can really just snap and turn back to how he was playing footy. And if he can, he's going to be one of the most dangerous for midfielders in the comp.
Look, if Melbourne get everything back right, they are a good list. They're not going to be the best list because their forward line and defence are both starting to crumble. Forward line hasn't existed, sorry, but defence crumbling. But if they do well, they'll be top 5, top 6.
Yeah.
They'll finish about 5th. If they bottom out,
if everything keeps going to shit,
this could be a Richmond level bottoming out.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would kind of prefer that for Melbourne fans now than in 2 years' time. When
I feel like, especially if they look, if that does happen, and look to trade, say they go up, Trucker, we're happy to let you go, try and get some picks at least for this upcoming draft, because I think it's the last year before Tassie draft comes into effect.
2026 the last year.
Also, they don't have their first round pick this year.
Yeah. That is true. They traded off. They need to try and just get some talent before it becomes too late, and they are stuck like they were in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Yeah.
Do you reckon if they do bottom out this year, Max Gawn retires early?
Yes.
No. I think he's going to stick by the club.
But his injuries and everything.
I think he'll stick by it. He'll stick by him for a little bit more. Sticking with fans who are going to stick out for a club. Gold Coast Suns.
The 10.
Gold Coast Suns are our last team we're going to be talking about today. For them this year, win outside of People's First Stadium in Northern Territory. That was a massive issue last year. They won, what was it, 1 or 2 games on the road?
They won 2. They won 2?
I think it was 2.
Oh, Adelaide as well, yeah.
Yeah, they won 2 games for the entire season on the road. That is a major red flag. What?
Sorry, just reminiscing. Oh, not reminiscing. He's just remembering the one win that they had in Melbourne.
Unlucky. But yes, they've got the coach, they've got the talent up there. They just need to convert it from People First Stadium onto the bus, onto the plane, back onto the bus, and to the away stadium.
Well, look, Daniel Rioli picked up, John Noble picked up this whole new halfback line. They've gone out and they've tried to improve it massively. The thing is that they're already developing well enough. It's just that they need experience.
If this list doesn't make finals in the next 2 years, it's a joke.
Oh, it is.
Like, it's at the point now where it'd be like, you talk about what the club, like, the actual future of the club is.
Well, they've been in the league for now, this will be their 15th season, and they're still yet to make finals.
Yeah.
The 20 fans they have are bloodthirsty for finals. They're thirsty, and they've been dried of it. It feels like the Sahara Desert. There's no water there. They need something. Give them something.
I'm sure they have plenty of juices and coffee up in there.
No, it's the Goldie.
It's the Goldie.
Bit of Yochi.
4X. Look, this year is one that you see people who are about to break out. Yeah. And Brody Ewan last year ended the year really well, incredibly well, and he should continue making that breakout. He is going to be playing a bit more defensively with Rioli and with Noble, but his run off the halfback flank could be almost a game changer.
Yeah, got a bit of a game breaker myself here to really improve in his 3rd year. Bailey Humphrey with the sleeve tat, he looks good when he's out there as well.
Skinny, dusty.
Yeah, he is. He's a game breaker. He's someone who's got that sort of Cam Rayner, Christian Petrarca sort of X factor to him. Can just rip a game apart by himself. I think he can really make a big jump this year.
My final one for obviously Gold Coast, I think it's going to be Jed Walter. I think Obviously, it'll be second year in the league. I think he's an enormous talent. We saw what he could do in the not NAB Cup. What's it called?
Marsh.
No, what's the NAB Cup is what it's called.
No.
Not the Marsh Championship. The other one.
The TSA.
Yeah, whatever it's called. We
UAP.
saw what he did before he got to the AFL. I think he's not gonna become a star, but I think he's gonna become a really good second option that Gold Coast can rely on. And I think he's still got years to develop to become that star that can sit along Ben King. But I think he's going to really improve and be that main second option and play. I want to see him play every game this year because I think if you can get that consistency down and be that good second option, he'll be able to stay in there if he stays healthy.
Yeah, well, he needs to stay there because right now, if Ben King isn't doing it, no one's doing it.
Yeah.
You need McAndrew to go up forward and change the game.
That's
we saw what he did. He can do that.
He
Though,
can do
McAndrew.
it.
We have seen that.
Did you reckon a year under Levi Casbolt mentorship is
Yes.
going to make Joe
Mate, no, you just need to learn how to use the hands with Casbolt and then don't talk to him about kicking. Those hands are all you need to ask Casbolt for.
Why did no one pick him up? This is rubbish.
He retired.
Okay.
He asked Carlton to come back and we said no. Should have brought Levi back.
Should have.
Imagine a partnership, Pitney tapped to Cripps to Levi.
Anyway, Gold Coast this year, they should make finals. This is the directive. This is they have to make it.
They should, but do you think they will?
No.
Yeah. I don't think they
It's
will.
Gold Coast.
I think I reckon they'll get close. They'll be closer than they were last year. Yeah. I think there's still too many teams that are a bit better than them at the moment.
Yeah, we've got the ceiling about 7. Like if
We
they
can
make
see it, we can
finals,
see
they'll
it.
scrape in.
We can see it.
I can make an away elimination final,
But
they'll get smacked.
Yeah.
Because it'll be somewhere other than Victoria.
yeah, the floor, they're not going to make bottom 4. They're not that shit anymore. But they're still 14th.
There's potential to still have a few.
With how teams are around them, it could fall down.
We can see what they look like without Tuke Miller. Like Tuke Miller being back might be handy. They missed him for about 6 weeks.
A fair bit, yeah.
Yeah, so
he is in less of a role now.
Yeah, he's
I think
like kind of Aaron Hall role.
hopefully Matt Rao can just start eating some more grass and be all happy and Larry together.
They don't need a mower at the People First Stadium.
Oh.
Now, anyway, let's go talk about some non-preview news. Neil Danaher.
Yeah.
It was Australian of the Year.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. I don't want to see any more jokes, Fooppy Stan.
No.
Let the man be.
Nah, well deserved.
He's
He's a
an
legend.
inspiration. He was given 28 months to survive. He's now lasted
He's lasted 10 years.
10 years.
Crazy.
Obviously, his health has obviously diminished a bit more to what it was. But considering he's raised $117 million for Fight MND is an unbelievable cause. I think it's something that everyone looks for. Everyone loves the freeze MMD, the slide. Everyone always donates, raise money, buys beanies, however they can contribute. It's a great thing to see. I think he's a great inspiration to what things and well deserved as well. I'm going to also congratulate Kelly Underwood. She received an Order of Australia medal for her contribution to commentating.
No, it was for female pushing commentating.
Well, that's fair.
But I think she, as much as people give her crap, I think she has been a leader in women commentary, and we have had better commentators come through that have probably looked up to her and taken, so well done to both Kelly and Neil.
On a dark day for football, Ange will likely be getting sacked tomorrow.
What's dark about Tottenham losing?
Well, Ange.
Okay, it's Tottenham.
Oh my god. Tottenham get beaten by Leicester 2-1. It's pretty bad. Jamie Vardy had one of the best celebrations.
Brexit ball is back.
It's almost as good as the time he absolutely
Pride
fun the punch or fun the kick. Pride flag.
flag on the corner flag.
But pretty good celebration. Otherwise, Ange will probably we'll be hearing it. He probably will.
We'll wake up tomorrow to a post from Fabrizio.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It was fun while it lasted.
My issue is who do they replace? There is no good coach on the market they can replace with.
They'll buy someone from like.
Yeah, that would be just as bad.
It'll be Spurs funnies.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I hope Spurs get relegated because it'd be really funny.
That will be funny.
Imagine going away to Derby
London.
County,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Luton Town Stadium.
Hull City.
Aren't Luton going down again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are. Go to QPR.
Anyway, keeping the Prem for a little bit. Johan Wissa's celebration. Have we all seen it?
No.
So in the Brentford Crystal Palace game.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
Bomo-
did see this.
And Bomo misses a pen, and nothing happens. Whistler started celebrating beforehand, and it looked a bit like a dickhead. Second time around, because the goalkeeper and the centre backs all infringed. So good penalty work, Crystal Palace. Whistler, when Mbeumo just starts walking up to start taking the pen, starts celebrating, starts running off to the corner flag. He's basically halfway there by the time Mbeumo, the ball has actually gone in the net. He's, like half the team has already started celebrating because Whistler's already started running down to the corner flag. So
That's funny.
Good celebration that. Back to the A-League. It was a bit of a shit week, to be honest, A-League. Lots of draws. Not fun. But one team didn't draw.
One team didn't.
Victory. Good job, guys.
Is there live to watch? I watched it live.
Beat the posh twats from Sydney.
I was worried when they thought they scored the first one, but obviously turned
way offside.
Yeah,
way
very offside.
And then funny first goal.
Yes.
Just head.
Yeah, head.
And then second goal, even funnier. Good run. Definitely wasn't helped by the fact goalkeeper was way out of position.
Yes, he was in terrible position. To say, I'll also say it was a good crowd they actually got for the Big Blue. Wasn't as big as been in years gone past, but they got a decent crowd.
Yeah, for this year it was great.
Yeah.
I would have been there if I wasn't dying.
Yeah, you're not a true fan. Never mind. I was
Sorry,
unpaid internship.
So bad. Adelaide versus Auckland, the top two teams this season so far. Their matchup mid last week, basically the Potter thing was out after this game. But it lived up to the billing. Adelaide and Auckland drawing in Adelaide. Very exciting game. It's really good to see these teams playing out and playing these games that aren't just 3-0 blowouts. So it'd be good to see what happens.
I swear. Don't make me get out of this seat. Come on in. You won't get in the water. You don't want to get his hair wet. Pretty boy.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna call you back.
Oh, Lord.
You are my sunshine, my only.
It's NBA time, guys. And the LeBron James family is just taking the absolute piss.
Well, let's start off. Was a beater in high school for Bryce.
Bronny with another 30 bomb in the G League and posterising the shit out of someone.
And LeBron being goated still.
Hope his house is still safe in LA.
Oh, look, Bronny looked after it and now he's
Too much LeBron gooning going on here.
Well,
I don't like this.
Hey, talk about Steph right now. Oh, wait.
Oh, shit.
0 from 8 in the second half. Wowee.
The Warriors are on a downer. Anyway, another team that's on a downer are Philly. They managed to beat the Cavs at Embiid. How?
Callie Oubre Jr. rocked up for his one game he has in 3 years.
No, it's every year. He has one game where he hits 10 threes.
Podcast Paul also went off 38 points.
He started like basketball again.
It's not harder than hooping.
I think you realise podcast doesn't pay as much as NBA does.
No.
Really?
No. You can do both at the same time.
I'm not just stuck.
Get the best of both worlds.
I found a cheat code in the NBA, by the way. It's when you take the San Antonio Spurs back to Paris, and when we play in his home city, it is unfair. He took the absolute piss out of Indiana in that first game.
What a surprise.
Who would have thought 7'4" Victor Wembanyama dominates on home territory? I don't know what his intro song was.
Oh,
what do you reckon his intro song would have been?
Guys, I have an update. Can you give us a Ben Simmons update, please?
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, guys. Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. He's injured again.
Oh.
Boy, oh boy, wowee.
Look, it's not the 76ers this time. It's not the magically I've disappeared for the 76ers match. It's against the Kings. But he's got questioned because he has a back spasm.
It's a back spasm this time.
Too much war zone.
Every time at this time of the year, we're in, the cycle we're in for Ben Simmons. We're now in their mystery injury cycle.
Well, this is the even more breaking news. Ben retirement? Question mark.
I mean, he's been retired for 3 years.
Oh, he's questioned it.
No retirement, Ben.
Yeah. That's, look, he said in a recent podcast he's considered retiring. Fair enough.
I mean, he's probably got the money to retire.
I think the NBA would like him to retire too.
I think Brooklyn would definitely like him to retire.
I think everyone would be pretty happy for him to retire. He's a
not
bust.
Not Shanghai. They've been waiting for 6 years.
Is he probably? Could he be one of the biggest what ifs?
He's just a massive letdown.
Well,
from what he could have been.
If you didn't, he's inspiring a generation because Angel Reese also is doing what he's doing.
We love. Have you been getting the TikToks? I get these TikToks all the time of Andrew Reese highlights. It's just her bricking every single shot. I reckon she gets her double every game because she misses 10 shots and she gets her own rebounds too, and then misses them again.
Well, that's also like Bronny highlights on in the NBA.
And then she goes off and blames Caitlin Clark for the reason that she doesn't get enough representation.
The whole league blames Caitlin Clark
for everything because she's not of color and she is white.
In politics.
No, okay, move on.
All Stars have been announced.
The All Star starters are out. Yes. We got in the East. We got at the guards Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson. Forwards we got Jason Tatum and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and at the center Karl Anthony Towns.
LaMelo being snubbed.
No, I think Brunson deserved it.
No, New York can't be too happy.
Did you see the
Josh Green snubbed?
No.
see the Grizzlies congratulate Brunson and Cat. Let them know. Anyway, and then on the West Stars, we have Steph Curry, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Nikola Jokic.
Didn't you just call Steph washed?
He is washed.
That is rough.
It's literally the All-Star game is in San Francisco. Where are the Golden State Warriors from?
Originally from Oakland, actually.
No. Yeah, but where are they now?
Well,
yeah.
We know who's not going to be at the All-Star game. That's Charles Barkley.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't like San Francisco or San Antonio women.
I think, realistically, Curry and KD probably shouldn't both be starting on the All-Stars.
No.
Curry definitely shouldn't after the second half.
No, KD's, I reckon, more worse than Steph.
He's
they're
still playing.
They're both old washed men.
He's still playing better than what Steph is right
to be honest, Steph wouldn't be a starter if Doncic was healthy.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Anyway, it is the All-Star game. Is it going to be any good this year?
No.
It's going to be just stupid again.
The All-Star game's always never good.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed an All-Star game in years.
I reckon 2016 was the last good one.
Yeah, when we had the dunk contest, it was actually meant something.
Yeah. I mean, Mac McClung just going, this is my way to a contract.
It's painful to watch.
Go NBA.
If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you're ready to shake it off. But if you're an NFL fan, you want to fuck it off. We've got the Super Bowl teams here. And boy, oh boy, the Chiefs are here again. For the fourth year in a row. What is this nonsense?
I'm sick of them. I'm sick of Kermit the Frog winning Super Bowls.
So, if you haven't seen today's results, the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, they still own the Buffalo Bills. It's now the fourth time to beat them in playoffs. Josh Allen just can't have his receivers catch anything. I don't think they can even catch a cold. The way they're going.
They can. They definitely can. In Buffalo, yes, they definitely can.
The Chiefs won 32-29. Drop catches were probably the reason the Bills couldn't get over the line. The Chiefs' defense is probably just still really good. I think they're just unstoppable. They're going for a three-peat. Do you think that the Chiefs at the moment are the new Patriots types of dynasty?
Yes. Well, I think that's almost more impressive at this point because the Patriots took for 6 rings, 20 years. Whereas this one is going to be 4 rings in the space of about 6 years. It's ridiculous.
They're just going to dwindle out at some point. Excuse me.
No, they don't. They actually don't. As long as Patrick Mahomes
everyone wants him to dwindle out.
Yes, but as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, he's only 28. Let that sink in.
Yeah, but his family's funny.
Yeah, Jackson. Yeah, he's
Jackson
not allowed on camera anymore.
Going to the other game. The other game was a bit more. It was a high-scoring game. In the NFC Championship, the Eagles put in a masterclass against the Commanders, winning 55-23. The Eagles have a cheat code, aka Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. He scored for 3 touchdowns on the way to winning the NFC Championship. You literally watch the Commanders go on like an 8-minute drive, and then the Eagles just go, Saquon, here you go.
Well,
touchdown.
He's got the second most amount of yards in a season. I don't know who the number 1
He would have broken it if he played week 18.
Yeah, he would have easily done it. And if overall, I think if the overall stats is that he will break it if he has like 100 yards in the Super Bowl.
What I reckon he'll hit.
Yes. Oh, unless the Chiefs just go in the nuts. Run the nuts.
No, because they're the Mickey Mouse team. They want
They'll win.
Mm.
Let's be real, they'll win.
Yeah. if you're stupid, put money on the Eagles.
You right there?
That's my whole input of the chair.
Okay,
I know
thanks.
they're annoying.
Well, let's move to college then. Now, Ohio State have won the national championship the first time in the 12-team playoff format. Will Howard, who had a shit year overall, ended up getting 231 yards and 2 touchdowns as they win 34-23 over Notre Dame, which means I was right and you were wrong.
I'll accept defeat. Yes.
Yeah. Now, one of the bigger names for us is Joe McGuire. Now, he is the punter of Ohio State. He did a lot of stuff in the championship game. He held the ball for kicks. He had a punt.
He had one punt. 51 yards.
Wow, that's a good punt. But so he came through Australia's program Pro Kick. It's been pretty successful for college football.
There's been a lot of big talents, at least college, that have gone also onto the NFL stage. Like Pro Kick, it's probably been around for about 8 years now, 10 years.
Yeah, about that.
Hasn't been around for long, but they've produced some amazing talents that have just transitioned from AFL to football, NFL.
Now, it's only that though. That could be the only reason why he's successful. It's not the fact that his dad is Eddie McGuire. If you don't know Eddie McGuire, former president of Collingwood, media mogul, personality definitely. Doesn't like a certain person.
Favorite moment of Eddie McGuire has to be, remember around the early 2010s, the AFL Footy Show Grand Final. They used to do all the song remixes. Oh. And I remember they did one to Sex on Fire but they changed Sex on Fire to Eddie McGuire. That's all I remember from Eddie.
My favourite Eddie McGuire moment is right after on the coverage, Dominic kicks the goal in the grand final and the cuss to Eddie, just going.
Yeah. But look, well done to Joe McGuire. Obviously didn't have a massive impact in the game, but winning a college football is an impressive feat in itself. I got that on the end. But yeah, so well done to Ohio State. I was wrong. You guys were the better team. Well done.
Like real close, and then they go.
No, it has to be the same distance. It has to be a bit fair.
Oh well, it's about 20 meters, max.
Okay, so 20 minutes. Bang. I'm literally going to put cement in my water bottle and go.
Alright guys, it's at that point of the time of the show where we talk about the 5 biggest melons of the week. We'll enjoy it.
Yes, we love the melon of the week. They all are absolute melons. If you don't know what melon of the week is, we look at the 5 funniest things we can find on sports in this week. And Jesus, we have some doozies
this week.
We're not going to beat the number one last week.
That was outrageous.
It was tough.
The Lazio.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon these guys are giving it a run for their money.
They'll do well. But we're going to do it. Alright, start off number 5. Someone who is probably going to be on this list another 5 times this year.
Oh, at least 10, I reckon.
Because he says some outrageous things. Kane
Cornsy.
Very outspoken AFL media journalist.
Mm-hmm.
He was on SEN last week. And I get the feeling he's a bit jealous that he wasn't playing in this current era where there's a bit of money in AFL. Because he's had a crack at Essendon's list for giving some money as a bit of a sweetener to Zach Merritt's contract. When Essendon, first off, Zach Merritt's underpaid as far as how good he is for the club and how much better he is now.
Well, how much was he on?
He's about 200k numbers.
Yeah, okay, I can see around the 8 to million mark. Yeah,
he's signed a deal in 2021, a long time ago. Anyway, Kane Corns. I'm sure this isn't a not uncommon thing in AFL nowadays, with money left over. Grow up, get over it, find something else to talk about, because all he talks about is contracts.
Oh,
if someone signs a long deal, he cracks the shit.
Ask Port when they're paying Rosie and Butters.
Yeah, so he needs to grow up. Don't talk about my girl like that. I'll move on. Number 4, loser of the Australian Open final, Arena Sabalenka. She's a bit of a head case.
She is.
She lost the plot a bit in that final. Was cracking it. Like you said earlier, she was around by enemy during the final. Kept lots of unforced errors. Had a bit of a hissy fit when she lost the match. I know she walked off court, stormed off, smashing rackets. Came back out in the end, which was good. But for her actions throughout the game and then after she lost the match, Sabalenka, you're a melon.
She also fully just went on a rampage against her team.
Probably because she lost now, she's going to get probably shot by Putin. So
she's not Russian.
She's Belarus, but they're together. That's why she can't have a flag on the thing.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't mean that Putin's be like, oh, you lost.
It's not China.
This whole part's getting
Less
cut out.
politics the better.
This whole part's getting cut out. Sticking to Australian Open, number 3 is the Australian Open reporters. So obviously last week we had Chompers, Chompity Chomp Chomp Chomp. He had another interesting moment this week. Have you seen the TikTok about him doing the Charlie XCX dance? Yeah, not great. At the same time, he also had the McLaren guy issue. You know that one?
I did see that.
We've had just overall, the reporters were just taking the piss. This was not their best job.
I reckon the worst one was, I can't remember who it was exactly.
The Ben
It was-
Shelton one?
No, not the Ben Shelton one. There's this young guy who won. I think he's won his first round. He's a Chinese tennis player. I can't remember his name exactly. But the reporter goes, "You shouldn't be this good at this young." I'm like, what? You can't be telling him he's not good enough to win a match.
I think the Ben Shelton one was horrendous.
Ben-
Like, he was talking about Monfils. He's like, this guy, he could be your dad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh, that's just racist.
No, it's more like the age, but like some of the stuff they talked about was terrible.
It's a black dad racist joke.
It was just not good.
So overall, reporters at the Australian Open for taking the mickey for a whole 2 weeks.
Had a mare.
Can we just not bring any of them back next year?
Can we just move the broadcast to somewhere else?
Yeah, they've lost.
Put it back to 7 when I was at 7 years ago.
Give it to Channel 10.
Imagine Nick Butler commentating. Nick Butler's on the sideline on Rod Laver.
Run one out.
G'day, plumbers.
Cut out run one out.
Keeping that in.
No.
Yes.
Now,
Keep going.
at number 2 this week,
We get good.
this is a good one.
This is a
Now,
good one.
you don't need to know everything about this person. We won't mention Gavin Lavera again. Gavin Lavera is a jockey, a horse jockey.
South African.
South African jockey
Yep. And over the weekend, he was on a race
in South Africa.
where he was pretty far behind.
Yeah, he was out of the chance to win.
There was the horse wasn't kicking.
No.
He wasn't making it. And he must have been frustrated, you know. Now, when you're frustrated on a horse, what do you reckon you'd do?
Maybe just try and give the horse the last few whips to get.
I will just add, I'll add an extra bit of context before what we're going to talk about happens. The other jockey that was next to him, his horse ran into his horse, so
Yeah.
he was very frustrated by what had happened.
Now, try to get a bit more kick, try to get the horse going. He did start off with that. But as you just said, they made contact, and he then moves his whip and starts whipping the jockey next to him, like constantly like that.
We'll put the footage up on the screen so you guys can see this as well.
It's hilarious.
It is one of the funniest videos.
It's literally, you don't notice it at first, and then you just see him absolutely change his body around as he swings to go like that. And he's like, once again, in the digital age where you are going to be seen, what on earth do you reckon?
He has been suspended for a couple months due to his actions. Who would have thought?
Physical assault. Got him suspended.
Once again, this is only the first crime committed in this melon of the week. And Gavin Lavera, you are a melon.
Normally, every week you'd say this another one. Boy, oh boy, this is America at its finest. So, another one melon of the week is the Georgian high school basketball competition. So, about a month ago, there was an incident that had surfaced with the police with 2 basketball schools. They were named Sonoraville and Rockmart. They played on January 3rd.
It's a shit name.
Yeah, it's Georgian basketball. What do you expect?
Yeah.
So it was an incident late in the second half. A Rockmart player pushed a Sonoraville player and then punched him in the face.
Not just a normal punch.
Not just a normal punch. So pushed him first and then bang right in the jaw. So then obviously people lose their shit and start running the court. Then one of the other players from the team who got knocked out comes up and he just turns around and goes whack. So he's whacked him. He's whacked 2.
Mark as well.
Yeah, whacked the mark as well. He's whacked 2 players, knocked him out cold in the space of 1 minute. To be fair, not to be fair, we don't condone this.
there's
No, to be fair.
fairness about this.
They are saying that the 16-year-old Rockmart player who did hit the other players, apparently the players who got knocked out were apparently calling him racist slurs. So we don't condone that. But what is happening? Why are we punching players in high school basketball?
Get some tens.
So obviously it's been taken to the police. So the police are now filing charges against the Rockmart player. He's facing 2 charges of simple battery and assault.
Yep. So 2 assaults in this podcast.
Yes. But for causing a fight and knocking 2 players out in the space of 5 seconds in a high school basketball game, Georgian high school basketball, and whatever this guy's name is, he's unnamed as of
It
of
should
now.
be as he's underage.
You guys are our melons of the week.
Oh god, what an idiot.
We've had some good ones so far.
That's 2 standouts.
We're in
My
January
lord.
and we've had
Both footages will be put up of the last 2 melons because they need to be seen to be believed.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's the end of this week's
What
episode.
a podcast.
What a yap sesh this
A
one was.
trio of fun we've had here.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun yap.
We're going well.
We're doing well. Obviously, next week,
Got some more footy next week.
more footy.
Gonna speak about our own teams. That'll be just delightful.
Oh, I'm
Someone's getting punched.
This may be a 50-minute session for
Yap.
Someone's
next
getting
week.
hit.
We will. The first test would have finished by Monday. I may or may not be in attendance. We are waiting to find out on certain things that are rocking up. Possibly might be getting drinking and pissed. Anywho,
I hope you get smacked.
we'll have other stuff to talk about. More melon of the weeks, but good. We'll have a new set next week too.
Yes.
Yeah.
The table's getting thrown out.
Yeah. In very, very big fashion as well.
We'll have some footage ready for you guys at the start of next episode.
If you're piss fit, or we're pissed, and we also do that, it'd be pretty funny.
Might get someone to drive me over, and then Jimmy can drive me back.
No way.
Too bad. I'm Ethan Stone.
I'm James Isles.
I'm John T. Barrow. You gonna say it?
You can say it.
Oh, stay nothing.